we are here at the Boyscast, and to get Danny and you pumped up, just some Friday motivation.
Yeah.
Want to get people jacked up, want to get people amped up. A little guy who goes by the name of Grant Cardone.
If I made $400 grand a year, I would be embarrassed with myself as a husband, a father, basically as a human being. You guys haven't done the math.
That's right.
Because you cannot live on $400 grand a year. And if you think you can live on $400 grand a year, I might have to go back and add number one. Nothing. Anybody can make $400 grand a year. All you got to do is show
Anybody.
up. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. You guys don't need to agree with me.
Well, listen, here's the thing, Grant Cardone. I personally would be embarrassed to live on $600K a year. So I actually think that.
How do you like that, Grant?
Grant Cardone says he would be embarrassed to live on $400K a year. $700K a year, I would puke. I would look myself in the mirror. I would end it right there.
Your kids would be starving. All 8 of your kids would be literally starving.
Do the fucking math.
Dude, you're in the lineup. Think about how much of a jackass you must feel like. You're at a food bank in line waiting for scraps, being like, I make $400,000 a year.
You're a bum.
I'm at a food bank right now. What has happened?
Well, do the math. $600K a year. That means you got $50K a month. I spend that on escorts alone, Grant Cardone. That is my escort budget.
I love how he followed me recently on Instagram for some reason.
I know, he did
follow him for like every episode for 2 straight months.
Someone who works with me messaged me on the Patreon. He says he's all right.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Grant Cardone, I just want you to know, I have a friend of mine, right?
Yeah.
I actually have a brother.
10x it. You have 10 brothers now,
I have
Ryan.
10 brothers, right? Brother of mine dropped his phone. I was laughing really hard. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I picked up my phone and I said...
Really bad karma for you, but...
I'll tell you what happened to my brother. It wasn't that. My brother looked at me and he said, I got a promotion. I hope you're happy for me. I'm going to be making $250,000 a year. At that point, I started laughing. I go...
you should do my job.
And then I call him. I go, listen, seriously though, how much did you make? Like that's hilarious.
Sure.
I'm glad we all shared a laugh, and I do appreciate you that, because everyone should laugh.
Sure.
How much are you actually making? And he said, no, I'm serious. At this point, he started crying. I kept insisting that I seriously want to know how much you're making. He's bawling his eyes out, right? Yeah. And then I look at him and I go, you make $250 grand a year. I no longer have a brother. I have a sister. And that's what I said to him.
And also with that comedy act, you're going to be opening for me on the road.
You're going to be opening for me on the road? And then he said, well, I make $600K a year. I go, well, that's not going to be happening.
All right. You're not the host. You're the feature now with that kind of jokes.
You've already started your negotiations at a low point. That's the second rule that I've taught you.
Messed up.
Yeah, so I think I guess his point is he's like, you should always aim up. It's just like,
yeah, sure, great. I mean, I guess, like, again, in entrepreneurship, theoretically, if you have a good enough product, like, once you're like, okay, well, I made one sale, I guess theoretically, like, if I figure out a way, I can make 1 million sales. Like, you're not a lawyer.
Is that what you say, that you walk away from a guy after you sucked his dick for $40? You go, theoretically.
No, because the problem is when you suck a dick, you go, well, I can only suck so many.
Scalable.
It's not scalable, right? What he does is scalable. So then when you have anything that's scalable, you go,
But what if you had an army of men sucking dicks with you?
Well, but then I don't get to suck the dicks, and then what am I doing at that point? What am I doing at that point? We're just capitalist scum living off of the fucking...
That's what I do. I walk into you walk into a brothel and you go, you. All of your salaries combined, triple it. That's how much I made last month. I spit on the ground. I walk out.
They go, what was that guy about? Yeah, I don't know. We lost a sale though.
Dude, I love Grant Cardone these days. He's the pinnacle of that type of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, hey man, that's what you got to be though. You got to be this braggadocious dude on social media to, like, I guess if you're just, remember that one, like, it's the same as the guy who's like,
I know.
Yeah, if you don't have 6-pack abs, fuck out of here. You're not working. You're fired.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he's like, yeah, I don't actually fire people, but...
Well, it's just so funny because it's like they're trying to be the most extreme guy, but then why not be like, anyone who doesn't make $1 billion kajillion is a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's just by taking a thing that you're like, okay, how many people make over $400K a year? Like, I don't know, less than 1%. So he goes, 999 out of 1,000 people are fucking scum.
Yeah. Literally, his whole thing is like, hey, you watching this right now, you're a piece of shit.
I actually think that if you don't make $1 trillion yesterday, that you fucking belong belong in a dumpster with me pissing on you.
You don't own the Federal Reserve. You're scum. You're pond scum, pal.